Morning. Myself a little cup. So if this is the first time you've joined me on my morning ramble into work, welcome. I take this time on my way in the morning, and I started months ago now, just throwing my camera in my face and see you guys. Love you. Throw my camera in my face and recording. No script, no real thoughts on what I'm going to talk about. And the reason I started doing that, I found over time that, especially when I'm driving, I just talk to myself, I talk to God, I pray, I think about things out loud. And I get some really good ideas, some really bad ideas. But I would get excited, I'd get fired up about things in the morning. I'm a bit of a morning guy as far as my mind, when I have clarity, when I can think about things, when I understand things well. And I listen to direction in my life, whether that be the Holy Spirit leading me in a certain way, something that my wife said, something that I'm thinking about with my kids that I want to do with them, some plans that I make all these plans in the morning, and then I get to work and I lose some of that focus and some of the ideas, and you have a long day at work, there's a lot going on, you've got deadlines. By the time you get back in the car on the way home, I just want to turn on the radio, listen to a sports channel or something, just something to numb all of that. And then by the time I get home, all of that good stuff in the morning is gone, right? And I'm left, I'm kind of left walking in the door, not ready to engage with what's going to meet me there. Even though that morning I had all kinds of plans, prayers, focus, by the time I get home, it's all gone. So I started doing this, and I'd record those thoughts, and then I started listening to those thoughts on the way home. And over time, I was re-engaging with those ideas, those things in my mind that I was excited about in the morning start to come back. And then as the days would go on, some of those thoughts would come back again and would expand, and the next thing you know, I'm doing some things that I've been talking about for a very long time. So that's how this all started. So it's been valuable to me. I started sharing it with a brother of mine, and he does some of the same. And we thought together that there may be a few things in here that would be valuable to share with someone else. A lot of it is not valuable to someone else. A lot of it, when I listen to it on the way home, is not valuable to me. So if it's not, that's cool. If it is, if there's something something that I'm talking about, a question that I'm asking, something, I certainly invite you to pray with me about anything that appears to be a struggle in my life or something we're going through. I would love that. Or if there's something where you have an answer, I'll just ask rhetorical questions sometimes. Why is this? How is that? And on those mornings where I'm properly caffeinated, I jump around quite a bit, and I have questions to things that there may not be an answer for, but you may have my answer. So let me know. Post some things in the comments down below. I'm curious, do you do this? When you're driving around, am I the only guy on the road right here? I'm seeing cars all over the place. Am I the only guy talking to myself? Do you have this ongoing conversation where you're asking questions and answering them, some of them, just sharing things that you don't share anywhere else when you're driving in the car, rambling along in the minivan? I'm curious if I'm the only guy doing it, so let me know. Let me know what you think. I've wanted to get a YouTube channel going for a while now. I follow a lot of YouTube channels with different themes, pretty eclectic what I follow. I enjoy outdoor stuff. I follow some guys that do a lot of hiking and hunting and shooting, a lot of things like that. I follow some other guys that are more, I guess, do-it-yourself kind of guys. I follow some music channels where people share their skills and talents. And then some vlogging, some video blogging, like what I'm doing now. Just some families that are into similar activities, I guess you'd say, similar lifestyles. So what do I want to do? Yeah, yeah, all that. I went back and forth. I've probably started half a dozen YouTube channels, probably more than that. This is it. This is what I'm going to call it. This is what it's going to be. No, this is it. This is what I call it. And then I'd say, no, that's too focused, right? That's too small of a scope because I want to do all this other stuff. I'm hoping it'll evolve over time and become something that is valuable to, to the people who want to watch it. But I named it Little House. There's a lot of things that name means to me. Obviously, when you think of Little House, you think of Little House on the Prairie. Years ago, before I had kids, first married, we watched a lot of Little House, and there were qualities in Pa's life, in Pa's family, that I wanted and still want for my family. There were there's this thing you can't put. For years I haven't been able to put a name on it, but if you've watched it, you get it, because I've heard other people reference it. Even saying things like, I heard it the other day, well, I'm no Pa Ingalls. That family, as portrayed in the books and in the television show, that family had this this bond, this, I don't know what it was really, but I want it in my family, and I think we have a lot of it. I see things. So I want to share those things that I've found that I feel build those little house qualities in my life. I want to share those things and encourage those things in other families. Some of it is the ability that Pa had to take on challenges, and the way his family respected him for that. Some of it was the way that the family took on those challenges, those hard times together. The way that they lived in the name itself, in the little house. I think in society today, I'm coming. You guys just took a trip on the floor. I've got this clip that holds this in place. My rubber band snapped on it, so I'm trying something new, and it clearly needs a little work. Sorry about that. Where was I? The little house. Just keeping it real, guys. This is how life is, right? You're along for that kind of a ride. I think in today's society, we feel that we need to live in gigantic, enormous houses. I grew up in a little house. I think my family, my sisters and my mom and my dad, benefited from living in a little house. And I think that in today's society, we have lost the appreciation for that. We all need our own space. We all need to have a house big enough that we can get away from each other. And I think in generations before us, it was just the opposite. We lived in a very close space as a family, and we did more together. We focused on that time together. So I would say by today's standards, my family lives in a little house. It's not little compared to what I grew up in, but we still, my daughters share a bedroom. Oh my gosh, that's unheard of in today's day and age. But when they go to bed at night, and it's an hour later, and I hear those girls still in there laughing and talking, that's part of the little house experience. They're building a relationship in there, talking about whatever it is that they talk about every night. And they're 6 years apart. I've got my oldest is a teenager now, and I was concerned about, when she gets older, she's going to need her own space. We're going to have to add on. We're going to have to do something. That's part of the little house, and I'll talk more about that. So that's that's the name of it. That's the focus. I hope to share on this channel more about that little house experience. I'm going to share over time some of my music projects. I've got one posted on here now. That was actually the first video that I put up. But there'll be more of that to come. I want to teach, so as part of that appreciation for doing it yourself, I want to just share my challenges. I am not an expert. I'm not an expert do-it-yourself guy, but I'll try just about anything. So I'll share what I'll learn. I'll share what I learned not to do. You'll see the Band-Aids and probably the stitches, everything where I've learned how to do it wrong. So that's just a little introduction of what I'm about. If that sounds interesting, go ahead and subscribe. When I put some stuff out there, you'll be able to see that. I'm going to share this out with some friends of mine that might be interested in. If you have comments, words of encouragement, words of advice, I'll take it all. We'll start a conversation. What was your experience? Did you grow up in a little house? Was it too close for comfort in your experience? Do you think we need some space? I'm open to the debate too. If there's a better way and something, this isn't for everybody. But I feel, in my experience, this is something that we've lost. We need more stuff, right? That's another component of it. We need more stuff. So we need more space to store that stuff. So you can't have a little house, you can't have a little garage. You need more space to store your stuff. I'm thinking we need less stuff. We need more quality stuff that we can pass on to our kids. These are all thoughts that I'll speak more about, and I'll share them. But that's about it. That's about my ride to work right there. I am just about there, and I don't know if I'll post this every day. I don't know if I'll post it once a week. If I'll do a bunch of this and splice it together, it'll probably be apparent. Again, welcome. Subscribe, comment, like the stuff you like. Don't like the stuff you don't like. Let me know what you want to see more of, and I'll try to work it in. See ya.